Welcome to the final episode of our filmmaking series. Over the last few episodes, we've covered everything from pre-production to shooting. But now comes the most exciting part for me at least, post-production, specifically the art of professional video editing. Well, first off, it's important to understand that editing is much more than just cutting together clips. Think of yourself as a director in the edit room. You have all these raw materials, your clips, and you're tasked with assembling them in a way that tells a story, evokes emotions, and keeps the audience engaged. You see, sometimes you might have a scene where there's a brief moment where you want to add something extra to support the narrative or add visual interest. Whether you're putting together a fun family video or a high-budget production, the transitions you choose can make or break your edit. Used sparingly, they can add flavor and make your video more engaging. But too much of them, and you'll end up with a messy, unappetizing experience. Now let's talk about the importance of audio in your edit. You see, audio is arguably the most important element of your video. And hey, do we forget to watch the next episode in our filmmaking series where we'll dive into storyboarding and shot planning? Until then, happy editing. And remember, the greatest editors make the invisible visible. They control emotion, pace, and meaning with every cut. See you next time. Even if you have amazing visuals, if the audio is lacking, it can really bring down the quality of your entire video. This includes the audio you recorded on set, any ambient sounds you captured, and any added sound effects or music. Enhancing your audio can make a huge difference in the final product. For example, you can use ambient sounds to create a more immersive experience. Or you can add sound effects to emphasize certain moments in your video. Music, on the other hand, can help to set the tone and evoke emotions in your audience. Overuse of effects can distract viewers and take away from the natural beauty of your footage. Additionally, excessive use of effects can make your video appear amateurish and poorly edited. Keep it simple and let the quality of your footage and storytelling shine through. You see, nobody likes a choppy video that jumps from one scene to the next without any flow. Now let's talk about color correction. It's crucial to create a visually appealing and consistent look for your video. Start by ensuring that the exposure of your video is balanced, bringing down any overly bright areas and lifting any excessively dark areas. Some popular choices include Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. Each software has its own strengths and weaknesses, so it's essential to choose the one that best fits your needs and skill level. Once you've chosen your software, take the time to learn its ins and outs. Understand how to use the various tools and features to create smooth and seamless edits. Knowing your way around your editing software inside out will allow you to work efficiently and focus on the creative aspects of your project. Next, fix the white balance to ensure that whites appear truly white and skin tones look natural. Finally, apply a LUT to give your video a specific color grade or look. This will help to create a more stylized and visually appealing video. For example, if you're creating a video with a cinematic or moody aesthetic, you may want to apply a LUT that adds warmth and contrast to the image. It's like trying to read a book where every sentence is just abruptly cut off. Not pleasant, right? That's where transitions come in handy. They allow you to connect ideas and make your story flow smoothly. But wait, not all transitions are created equal. Some transitions are more effective than others. For example, a hard cut is a sudden transition that creates a jarring effect, which can be useful to emphasize a particular moment or idea. On the other hand, a fade-out or a dissolve transition can help to connect ideas or make a smooth flow between two shots. So think carefully about the message you want to convey and choose your transitions accordingly. Subtle transitions like fades and dissolves are great for creating a seamless flow between shots, while hard cuts can be used to create emphasis or impact. Whip pans and other dynamic transitions should be used sparingly to avoid distracting the audience. Remember, the goal of your transitions is to guide your audience through your story in a way that is both engaging and meaningful. So take the time to choose the right ones and use them effectively. Maybe you've got a shot of two people talking, but you want to emphasize that they're friends. Instead of leaving it at just their faces, why not throw in a nice wide shot of them playing basketball together earlier on in the video? This kind of footage is known as supplementary footage. It supports the main narrative of your video by providing additional context or information. For instance, if you're telling a story about a group of friends hanging out, you might have a shot of them hanging out at a cafe. This supplementary shot adds depth to your video by giving the audience a better understanding of the characters and their relationships. Using this technique, you can create a more cohesive and engaging story. So remember, be afraid to experiment with different types of shots and angles to find the perfect supplementary footage to support your narrative. And if you're looking for more inspiration, check out some of my favorite movies and see how filmmakers use supplementary footage to enhance their storytelling. With a little creativity, you can take your edits to the next level. The question is, how do you do that? Well, let's find out. Okay, so what do you actually need to know about video editing? So let's start with some basic tips that will make your edits look more cinematic and professional. Tip No. 1. Edit during a subject's movement. Are you trying to create a smooth transition between two shots? Perhaps you're going from a close-up of a person talking to a wider shot of them walking away. Don't cut between them abruptly. Instead, continue the movement from the previous shot to the next. This technique maintains the flow and energy of the action, making the transition seamless. Let me illustrate this with an example. Imagine you're filming someone walking towards the camera. As they approach, you switch to a tighter shot of their face. Instead of cutting between the two shots, which would create a jarring effect, keep the movement continuous by starting the second shot with the subject still walking, but now closer to the camera. This creates a smooth and natural transition, enhancing the overall flow of your video. By keeping the movement consistent throughout your edit, you'll maintain a sense of continuity, making your video feel more immersive and engaging. So whether it's a character walking, running, or even driving, don't forget to carry that movement forward. It's a simple trick, but trust me, it can make a huge difference in the quality of your edits. Tip No. 2. L-cut or J-cut.
Now let's talk about L-cuts and J-cuts.
These are two quick cuts used to make dialogues or scenes flow more naturally. An L-cut is when you keep the audio from the previous shot as the video in the next shot begins. On the other hand, a J-cut is when you keep the video from the previous shot as the audio in the next shot begins.
Both of these techniques help to create a smooth flow in your editing by minimizing the abrupt transitions between shots.
They also add a touch of realism to your videos, because in real life, people don't typically stop speaking when one sentence ends and then start again in the next shot. Instead, they often overlap their dialogue, creating a more natural conversational flow. Let me show you a practical example of how L-cuts and J-cuts work. Imagine you have two shots of two people having a conversation. One person speaks in shot A, and the other responds in shot B, without any transitions. You could simply cut from shot A to shot B. However, this would result in a jarring effect, as if the speaker had suddenly stopped mid-sentence. To avoid this, you can use either an L-cut or a J-cut. In an L-cut, you would keep the audio of the first speaker from shot A, overlapping into shot B. This would create a smoother transition, as if the conversation were happening in real time. Similarly, a J-cut would keep the video of the first speaker from shot A, overlapping into shot B. Both techniques achieve the same result, maintaining the flow of the conversation. Choose whichever works best for your scene. It's by incorporating L-cuts and J-cuts into your editing. You'll elevate the quality of your edits, making them more realistic and engaging. Tip number 3. Add supportive footage. This tip will help you fill in those awkward gaps in your footage and make your edits more engaging. Tip No. 4. Clean cuts or subtle transitions. Tip No. 5. Don't overdo it with the effects. Effects and transitions are like condiments on your burger. Tip No. 6. Get the exposure right, fix the white balance, and apply LUTs. Tip No. 7. Use ambient sounds, effects, and music. Tip number 8. Master your tools. There are many video editing software options available, so there you have it, folks. These are the basic tips you need to know about video editing. Now go forth and edit like a pro.